Welcome to the Four Brewers Podcast. My name is John Holzer, and as always, I'm joined by...
New microphone, Jason Harris.
Old microphone, Greg Nagel.
And Tim Mather.
And this week on the show, we're doing another rando show. It's the middle of January at this point. And it felt like a good time just to do another random show with random beers. So that's what we're doing. Before we get into things, I want to give a quick shout out to a patron of ours, Nick Krenz. Back in episode, this was 2 weeks ago, episode 352, I Won't Be Home for the Holidays. I opened that show with a message explaining why our Christmas show came out in January. Because we recorded our Christmas show back in the early parts of December. I think like the first week of December, and I never got around to releasing it. And I've been sitting on shows for a while. Like, we've got a big backlog going back to, I think the show that's coming out tomorrow is from October, Kyle's Blind Showdown, if you guys remember doing that show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
So
people be like, oh yeah, you did this. I'm like, did we?
Yeah. So the show, we are going to release the shows, but I just took like 3 months off and basically released one show a month, and I apologized and explained myself and took all the blame, blah, blah, blah. But Nick wrote to me on Patreon and saying that he got his glass. So he did get his Four Brewers Patreon glass, which is cool. And he just basically said he appreciates all the work that I do, all that we do. And he's been listening for a long time. Consistency doesn't matter to him, and I should just do what I want. And he's happy no matter what we do. So that was nice to read because it's. I think that's my second apology that I've given. I think in 2021.
At least unlike most other YouTubers, you weren't apologizing for being a sex pest.
Yeah, being an awful human being or something like that.
I'm sorry. I know I should not have said the N-word.
Yeah, so
I apologize for tweets from my past.
Those get deleted every month. So yeah, I took care of that a long time ago, and I downloaded all of my tweets from Twitter. It's in like a spreadsheet, a CSV file. And some of the stuff it was just like, oh, it's so cringe. Like, I highly recommend deleting your past tweets and paying for tweet delete to delete your tweets every month. Like, it's worth it.
That explains why it's so clean.
All of my thoughts were worth being online.
Yeah, it turns out it's not a good idea.
Beef.
No. I don't even bother. Like, I have these things. I'm like, oh, I should. No, that's stupid. I should. No, who cares?
Twitter's
That's how
just
I've
for
gotten
retweeting things. That's it for me.
Exactly.
That's how I've gotten with Twitter lately. There's times when I'll think of something to tweet, or I'll do like a quote tweet, and I'll type it out, and I'll go, you know what? No, just never mind.
Wait, you mean to tell me? You mean to tell me that you actually stop posting things at times, because it doesn't look like it to me.
I do. Well, that's what I'm saying. You'd be surprised at the stuff I'm deleting. It's just
I can't imagine how much more there'd be.
Yeah,
it's like the bonus episodes.
There you go.
People outside my house
can you
keep
put it on
yelling at
your,
me to log off. Show yourself, cowards. I will never log off.
Can you put it on your subscription? Like, can you do your subscription Twitter?
I don't have that yet. Right now, you can just pay me. Yeah, and thanks, Tim. You can pay me on Twitter now for my tweets, and Tim was my first donation. Yeah.
I Venmo'd him a buck.
What kind of world is
cool.
this?
Exactly, Greg. What kind of world is it? Like, when I signed up for Twitter, I never would have imagined that Twitter would be like, you can accept money from people who want to give you money for your tweets. And it makes sense.
Yeah, everybody's going down that path.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain people like Parker Malloy. I think I've given her a few bucks here and there. Like, just great person to follow on Twitter if you're very, left wing and all about like equality for everyone, and especially trans people. But I happily will give her money. Happily subscribe to her newsletter and everything else that she does. Great journalist. But people like me, like, why would anyone want to give me money?
I don't know.
I
just wanted to
went
test
running
it out.
today.
The integration was really smooth. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it's a little glyph in your profile that you click on, and it will take you to whatever site you want to set up, including Patreon. So maybe if we get it for Four Brewers, we can put our Patreon link in there.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Shh, I'm going to open something.
Yeah, so let's kick off the show. Myself personally, I think Tim, you have an NA beer, non-alcoholic beer today, right? No, did I get that wrong?
No, you're right. I have several this month in my fridge, but I'm only pulling one out because I realize I feel like at least once a show I mention something about an NA beer. But that's mostly
Yeah.
because I cut down my regular beer drinking significantly. So I've been kind of like filling that space a bit more. But I did bring one to the show that has a funny story behind it, and we'll get to that.
So it's dry January for those who celebrate. And I think, Jason, you don't do dry January. You do something in February. I don't know if you have a cute name for it.
It's dry February. It's the shortest month of the year.
Yeah, there you go. So in celebration of dry January, I am drinking dry beers from the West Coast, if that makes any sense.
West Coast IPAs. No hazies.
Yeah. I'm
Hashtag
kicking off
no
the
hazy.
show with a beer from Pizza Port. I'm drinking Swami's, and I don't have to talk about Swami's. Honestly, I had to go to Bevmo to buy beers, and Swami's was the freshest beer they had. But I did get some pretty good West Coast stuff, at least according to canned on dates, that I'm looking forward to drinking. So who wants to go next?
I've got a Beechwood beer, so I guess I'm doing dry West Coast January as well. This is Beechwood's Hop Tangle.
Nice.
It is crystal fucking clear. Look at this thing. It is so brilliant. This is a very, very clear beer.
Nice. I did some beer shopping yesterday. I drove by Windsor, and then I also walked across the street to Bottle Logic, and I got me a She Shot First Tropical Hazy IPA.
I haven't had
What'd
that
you
one
get
in a
there?
while. That was one of their first like core beers, wasn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, when they first opened, I think 8 years ago, that was like one of their, and it was like a wheat pale ale back then. They didn't even call it a hazy IPA, but I guess if you want to sell it, you got to have, at least a couple more ABVs, and I think it's like in the 6% range, 6.4. That's pretty low. But yeah, it's a hazy boy with pineapple and passion fruit.
Ooh, yummy.
It's very tropical.
That sounds pretty cool. So most of my beers, I should say, came from my Tavor. So there's a good mix from around. My first one is from New Anthem Beer Project. This is the Amen Project, maybe? Amen Break? Almond Break? However you want to put that.
Amen.
Amen. It is, I have the notes. I should be better about this. It's an Imperial Hazy, 8%. New Anthem's actually pretty rad. They're out of Wilmington, which is where the Untapped office is. They're literally like around the corner. So when I was out there, I went to the brewery, and it's a pretty nice space. And most of the stuff I had from them was really good. So it's kind of cool to see it make its way around and be able to get it.
North Carolina?
Yes, sorry, I should add it.
Okay.
That one, North Carolina.
Amen.
Right on.
Orange juice.
That's very juicy.
So, I mean, Swami's, not much to say about Swami's that hasn't been said before, and it's been on the show many times. It's Swami's. It looks great. It's just an excellent West Coast IPA. This one was canned December 29th. So this is about 3 weeks fresh. And I think this is my last beer of 2021 as far as canning dates go. So.
Wow. For Christmas, I treated myself to a case of Swami's to get myself through the holidays. And man, that was money well spent. That beer's just so good.
So, Tim, the Amen Break is a drum solo from a song in 1969 called Amen Brother. And it's a sample. Like, if you hear it, you're like, oh, yeah, I've heard that. It's a very, very commonly used drum sample.
Oh, shoot. I'm going to have to check that out then. Thank you for doing the research, my friend.
That's right.
That's a cool reference, you know.
It would explain. I wonder if the audio wave on here lines up.
Probably.
It looks like it might.
We could play it, but we'd probably get a strike or some shit.
You could play it for like 5 seconds, something quick.
Right. We're fucking doing it.
Go for it.
We're doing it.
Whew. Here we go. Oh yeah, you know that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that. Okay, that's rad. Thank you, Jason.
Yeah. We
I didn't know
it.
that was
Amen.
called the Amen break. Okay.
Yeah, the song that it came from is Amen Brother by the Winstons.
The Winston's Churchill.
Please don't sue us.
The Winstons are coming for their fucking dollary dues.
So,
Sony
Jason,
music.
that Beechwood beer, I have not heard of that beer. What exactly is going on? I'm assuming it's like a West Coast IPA thing.
It is. It is very much a West Coast IPA. So it is interesting hop character. There's a little bit of funkiness, a little earthiness to it, and but it still manages to be pretty tropical. It's not very bitter.
Yeah, I just got done editing the show for, like I said, for Kyle's Blind Beer Showdown Part 2. And one of the beers on that show was a Beechwood beer. I can't, the name just slipped my mind. Hang on while I look it up here really quick. I didn't put it in our notes because why would I? I forgot the name of the beer, but it was one of those hybrid IPAs that was basically, the best parts of a West Coast, the best
Cold
parts of a
IPA?
hazy.
Oh yeah,
I get.
We
Is that
talked about
what a cold IPA is?
I don't know.
At this
That's
point?
what people call them.
Okay, is it cold IPA?
I like John's hybrid.
What
It
a
sounds
bad
better.
way to. That's like a bad term because, like, I have many cold IPAs, but they're not cold IPAs. You know,
I think cold IPA means hops are added on the cold side. Is
I would assume so.
it's something like
it's
very
complicated. I think. Yeah, I don't.
Oh wait,
I
no,
hate the
cold
name.
IPA. Sorry, cold IPA is just IPL rebranded. It's IPA with lager yeast.
Okay, great.
why it's
Can we
called-
just?
Well,
Why don't we just call
that's
it IP? Okay.
I don't know, man. They need something to put on there. This is pretty much a hop bursted, very dry, very low bitter, lots of hop flavor. But here's the kicker. So it's called Hop Tangle because there's 3 hops. So it's a triangle of hops.
Okay.
And they're all kind of unusual varietals. Laurel Pato. Have anybody had that one?
Never heard of Pato.
Pahto. And the kicker, the number 1 hop on the list is Idaho 7. And this is a really good beer that is very Idaho 7 forward.
You know, I got to say, I've had some beers from Pizza Port, one that may or may not be coming up that might have Idaho 7. I don't know. But like the last 5 or 6 new releases, maybe I'm being dramatic, but seem to have had Idaho 7 in them. And they've all been great. Like, I think either I'm coming around to Idaho 7 or
They figured out when to pick it.
they got
think-
the right batch.
I
you
think
know what
better
mean?
breweries are getting better Idaho 7.
Because I've not had a bad Idaho 7 beer at this point for the last 6 months. I think they've been fine. And if it had Idaho 7, it's like, especially with the Pizza Port beers, I don't look at the hops in the beer. They list it on the can. I just see a new beer and I buy it because it's going to be good and I want to try it. And I might look at the hops after the fact, but if I happen to see Idaho 7 in there, it's like, oh, there's Idaho 7. Cool.
Wait, and that's
Yeah.
in regards to Pizza Port.
Pizza Port, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I feel first off for you, and I mean, I think Jason too, probably you, Greg. Pizza Port is like does almost no wrong. But yeah, I mean, I would say the same thing. Like I see a new one from there, and I'm kind of like, oh, okay, cool.
I've never had a bad Pizza Port beer in my life.
No.
I mean,
Even
if they're
even
gonna go,
like a pub beer, like on site, that's brewed on site, like not distributed, not canned. Even those beers are like GABF winning, like gold medal.
Yeah, they're insane,
ridiculous.
their hit rate. And Beechwood, I would say the same. And this is just a really, really fucking solid IPA. It's exactly what I like in a modern IPA. A lot of hop flavor, a lot of hop character, low bitter, super drinkable, just very clear, very crisp, very refreshing. Just, I mean, if you listen to this show, you know that Beechwood makes great.
We need
West
to do
Coast
like a
IPA.
straight up Beechwood show, man. Like with
Oh, I'm
we
here
should
for a
go
Beechwood
there
show.
once COVID is over, maybe in 20
So
years
never?
or something.
2035.
Hey, Jason, can I see that can again?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's beautiful.
That's cool.
Oh, it's a hop tangle. They've tangled the hops.
yeah, I brought up the show that's coming out on the week of January 17th, Kyle's Blind Beer Showdown, because Beechwood's beer was like our favorite of the blind beers, and we got it wrong. We didn't, we thought it was a different brewery. I think we thought it was Alvarado Street or something like that.
Yeah, it definitely had a different take on what I know as Beechwood beers that are very big and bold and sort of in your face. Like, Beechwood when you're drinking a Beechwood beer. They're like amped up to level 11. This one was not sort of it drank like a Cellar Maker or Alvarado Street. They're sort of softer and way more hot bursty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just wanted to continue that thought from earlier. So,
well, I'm busting out some different glassware for this she shot. I'm going for my my Ranker, and it comes with the little guy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that rules.
So
this
is some kind of tiki glass thing. What exactly is this?
It's a Rancor from Star Wars.
Yep.
And,
okay.
It's in a big tiki mug. And then Greg also has like a little shot glass. So that would be awesome for a tiki drink, because you could put like 151 in a little shot glass.
Oh, that's
do
exactly what it's for.
Float with it. Yeah, that'd be
so.
Really cool.
Speaking of Rancor from Star Wars, if you're watching the Book of Boba Fett, Boba Fett was just gifted, spoilers, a Rancor from somebody who I won't say
this
who.
little guy.
So. I saw that Boba Fett is hanging out with like a Bozozuku scooter gang, but they're like space scooters. And all I want in the fucking world now is a space van. Like, not, and somebody's like, oh, the Millennium Falcon is a space van. No, I want a van that looks like a van. It's got like airbrush shit on the side.
If you're going to call the Millennium Falcon a space van, it's a space cargo van. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's a utility vehicle, not like a cool van.
You're just hoping for the Winnebago from Spaceballs.
Yeah. Oh, that would be perfect. Totally. But yeah, like just a van with airbrush on the side. Like the inside is all like Wookiee fur on like the
exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
A Wookiee fur couch.
And there's just like Jedi spice smoke coming out the windows that are cracked.
Oh God.
Yeah, those speeders that were in that you were talking about, they're colored basically like Power Rangers colors. If you saw them,
it totally looks like a.
It's such a callback to Power Rangers. I guarantee it. The first thing, and they're like, it's different people that are, without getting into too much detail, but like they're different races, and they're like a group that just got together and they work better together. It just made perfect sense to have those be the color of the Power Rangers colors.
With space Vespas, like they're powerful space Vespas.
I'm down.
It was cool.
Can I, as long as I can ride with you, I'll be your John Candy. I'll be Barf.
Oh, nice. I love it.
You got
my own best friend.
You've got more of a Lone Star look to you. I think we'd have to trade.
Lone Star. Dude,
really quick.
This mug. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna wrap up really quick on my first one. So this new Anthem's wrapping up. Like it reminds me exactly of the quality that they had coming out of the brewery, of things they had on tap there. It has really strong citrus, sweet fruit, kind of tropical nose. Honestly, like I haven't had orange juice by itself in a long time. And we got some recently. I was like, yum, orange juice. I'm drinking this. Like, oh, didn't I have this last night? So it's got a really good like citrus, like I mean, the hops stand out. So it's not just like you're drinking pure juice, but it's heavy on the citrus, and it's really good.
I'll have to check them out. I've never heard of New Anthem. I haven't bought beer from Tavor in a while, so maybe I'll keep a lookout for them.
Yeah, I'm not sure how often they go up. I got this probably a month and a half ago, maybe longer.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, dude.
So Greg,
I think you missed out on my She Shot action, but they were one of the first beers I ever had at Bottle Logic when they first opened. I think it was 2014-ish. But they've rebranded, and they brought in a new look for Eve, which is the gal with the gun.
Yeah. What's going on here? She is wearing like more of a.
She's got arm tats, dude. She's got
more of the Riveter Rosie look.
Yeah,
focus. Cover your eyes.
It worked, dude. It fucking worked.
There we go.
Yeah, she's got like a partial sleeve on one of her arms. Instead of a gun, it's like like Tim said, a rivet or some kind of tool. I don't know.
It's a gun.
I had
No,
no
it's
problem with
just-
the other label, but it's like a
This
a
is way
refreshing
more
of the brand.
2022 for sure. I love that it says pairs well with a chicken sandwich.
I mean,
which
she
is,
shot first. It's a
hilarious.
reference to Star Wars, right? Like Han shot first, and so
Yeah.
the woman on the can kind of looked like she was out of Star Wars, out of that universe, and now it's not that.
They were very
Yeah.
sci-fi themed early on, and I think they've kind of gotten away from that a little bit.
Well, it was very like sci-fi and role play and tabletop game. It seemed very like super nerdy, and I'm gonna guess if you have to appeal to a larger audience, you're gonna maybe take a little bit of those references out.
Yeah, they had we were there in the last month. They had a Harry Potter themed week with like butterbeer on tap. I had a butterbeer on nitro that was like 8%. That was phenomenal. They had ice cream pairings with them. They had Scoops on Tap was out there with.
Wait.
They had butterbeer ice cream.
Wow.
They
For
had
the kids.
They had
It was great.
alcoholic butterbeer. That's awesome. I've only had the Harry Potter World Universal Studios.
Yeah, which
butterbeer.
is ridiculously sweet, and it's
It's
like
basically
ugh.
I've made it at home before using a copycat recipe, and it's basically like vanilla ice cream and like caramel syrup, like
Yeah.
it's butterscotch, and you just like blend it up. Yeah,
Sounds
It was
fantastic.
good. I mean, you couldn't drink two. It was pretty like over the top, like naughty sauces, like on the lactose. But this is kind of cool that they brought back this old. I'm not sure if any other breweries have done this where they've like reanimated an old beer and then put new twists on it. Like it used to be just like a wheat pale ale,
A pale wheat ale, yeah. Kyle
Yeah, now
posted
it's
a
tropical
shot of the
ale
old
with-
label.
pineapple and passion fruit. It's big on the fruit additions. It's very tiki. I think it definitely drinks better out of a huge tiki mug for whatever reason. I don't know if it's just a mental thing, but
it's a mental thing, definitely.
oh man, like you just need some Hawaiian music playing in the background, and
you got to take
it's
your
great.
shot and then chase it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I don't know what the chick has to do with tiki stuff, but whatever. I'm down with it. It's good, and it's
Right
fun.
on. So are we ready to move on?
But I'll have another beer. We have more.
All right, I'm gonna grab one more. Mine were like warmish, so I had to like
One by one.
fast chill them and get them out of the fridge. So I'll be right back.
That's disappointing, John.
Thank you, John. So, Greg, you like that mic stand? That mic arm?
This one is great. Yeah, it's very beefy. It makes no noise when you move it.
Because I was thinking I wanted something that would stay low and come up, which I can actually kind of pull off with the current one, but it basically is so low that I can't reach my keyboard.
The mounting hardware that comes with it is very beefy. It's not like it's actual stainless steel.
Nice.
It's extremely high quality. I'm glad I bought it because it's the last one I'm ever going to need. My only complaint is the word road on it is so huge.
Get some gaffer tape. Bam.
Yeah.
Done.
Did I tell you I looked up the ones that podcast or that trance DJ uses, and they're like $500?
Yeah,
I
I saw
believe
that in the chat.
I don't know if you ever watch Howard Stern's videos from his actual studio at Sirius XM, but he has one that is like the length of 3 microphone boom arms because it's mounted so far behind his desk, and he likes to stand up to talk, and like his is easily $1,200 or something like that. It's just, and you can't hear it at all when he touches it. It's amazing. But yeah, this boom arm that I'm using was $25, and like you can't really hear it for the most part, but it's not.
Yeah, you can.
It's very short and it sucks compared to Greg's.
I don't know. All the gear in the 4B studio is nice, so don't sell yourself short.
I will say the electronics in the studio is nice. The hardware is cheaper and
Well, the trick with the
improvised.
hardware is we got to do it times 6. So
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Oh yeah.
all right, we doing another beer.
All right, so moving on. I'm opening another beer from Pizza Port, and as I said with my last beer, Swami's, it was my last beer that was canned in 2021 on December 29th. This beer is my first beer that was canned in 2022, and this beer is called Open Itinerary. This is an IPA from Pizza Port, and this is
cool.
got a fairly simple hop bill. It's made with Citra and HBC 586.
Experimental, bro.
Yep, 7.2% alcohol by volume, and yeah.
So I'm also going with West Coast favorites. This beer also has a fairly simple hop bill. It is El Segundo Strata.
Ooh,
Let
I
me
love
guess.
some
Let me
Strata.
guess. It's got citrus in it.
It's Citra, yeah, you're right. You nailed it. Yeah, just a single hop Strata IPA, which I can't remember the last time I saw El Segundo do like a full single hop beer. Is Mayberry? No, Mayberry's Mosaic
That's a
heavy,
blend.
but I don't think it's just Mosaic. Again, just gorgeously crystal clear, and oh my god, it smells fantastic. This was
Strata's so
canned
good.
on January 5th, so it's very fresh. And it just smells like so tropical. It is like exactly the fruity tropical kind of hop nose that you want. The aroma is so good on this beer.
Would you say I'm wrong if I said El Segundo was the Pizza Port of the South Bay? As far as beer goes,
that seems fairly accurate.
I would say El Segundo makes, I'm going to make a bold proclamation. I really think El Segundo makes the best West Coast IPA that you can get, period.
whoa.
Which one?
Full stop. Just El Segundo's general West Coast IPA range are all A+ beers. Like, they don't miss.
Them's fighting words with John.
I don't know if they're fighting words.
I love Pizza Port, but
for me though, it's unsung right here, just down the street from me.
Really?
So
They're
let's
Metaplex.
stop. I was saying the Pizza Port of the South Bay. Jason took it one step further and just said that they're making the best IPA.
They make really good IPA for sure.
So Pizza Port, I would say, is a stronger overall brewery because they make a million things really well. IPA is what they distribute, but you go to their pub and you can get like a gold medal winning British mild.
A mild. Yeah.
But they've also got
Nerfurter.
4 different breweries like working all the time to come up with different beers and recipes. And
yeah, but how bad is the average brew pub? And Pizza Port has like half a dozen brew pubs and they're all world class. It's like
well, it's because they've gotten to a point now where they have groomed brewers, and those brewers are then sent to other brew pubs and they groom brewers, and so it's just this ongoing.
yeah.
It's kind of genius. So for you to say that El Segundo is even the best period on top of Pizza Port and their just catalog of awesome brewers, that's very, very bold.
The thing is, El Segundo specializes, right? Like West Coast IPA is pretty much the thing they do. They do other stuff, but it's
And Pizza
really...
Port doesn't?
I don't think so. I think Pizza Port does a little everything.
Well,
I would
don't
say
know.
they're very West Coast IPA heavy.
I was going to say, like, Pizza Port, and the only thing that comes to mind that isn't an IPA is the bacon and eggs.
Yeah,
I'm sure they've had a lot. I'm sure they've had a lot
Chronic,
more, and I'm only going.
That honey blonde that's in White Distro as well.
Wait, is
Those
Chronic?
are on-
What's Chronic?
Chronic's
a
an amber
red.
ale, my friend.
Oh, I forgot.
Chronic's very good.
Okay.
California Gold, I think, is what it's called.
Yeah.
The honey blonde. I have some of that in my fridge right now.
Okay,
it's very good.
that's fair,
This
Jason.
honey blonde is a bit of California gold.
And I will
Wow.
admit, if I think about El Segundo,
Amazing.
all I think about El Segundo is IPA, except for, is it oil tanker or something themed after an oil tanker?
Standard Crude, I believe,
that
is
one.
their imperial stout.
Yeah, that's
They're
the only
fine.
one I
I've
think
had
of.
barley wines from them that are pretty good. I've had stouts from them that are pretty good. Like El Segundo's pretty good at everything that's not West Coast IPA, but they are like the best West Coast IPAs I've had are probably from El Segundo.
Huh.
Like,
Okay, well, I mean, I'm not going to argue with that. I think El Segundo, that's why I said, are they the Pizza Port of the South Bay? I think that's
they do have a pizza
fair.
place now, so
And they do have a pizza place.
true.
That's true. Yeah.
I have yet to check that out. I know I only learned about it, Jason, after I met you for a beer exchange, like when we were all like a week or two into the
Yeah.
pandemic. We're like, oh, cool.
No, and you brought the pandemic up, Tim. They sent us an email, or no, not an email. I think it was a message on Messenger, Facebook Messenger, saying, "Hey, can we have your email address so we can invite you to come eat pizza with us?" And I thought it was like, I just laughed and I said, "What?" Like, because I forgot they were opening a pizza place. And the response was, "Yeah, we're opening a pizza place." And I'm like, "Oh, right. I totally forgot. I'm so sorry." And that was their like invite for us to do media for their media night.
Yeah.
And I blew it. And
I got the
felt,
same thing. I was like, I don't know, man.
And then we were never invited to anything ever again because
well, we weren't. Well, I didn't. I just laughed, and I'm like, "What?" Like, because I thought it was a joke.
Just like come hang out and have pizza.
Yeah, I'm like, "Well, I will if you want," but no,
I'm not
it's
driving. No pizza is worth driving to LA.
2 hours to get a slice of pizza. No, I'm not going to do it. But if you're doing a media thing for your new
I don't
spot,
know.
yes, then I would do it.
We
It's
regularly
not unheard of. I have driven to Carlsbad just to get that Pizza Port pizza.
we regularly drive 45 to an hour depending on traffic to a pizza place up in Ventura County.
That's only 3 miles from you to like an hour in LA.
Oh, shut up.
45 minutes to an hour. It's four blocks away, but
Dude,
That is not inaccurate.
a friend of mine in San Clemente, he's a chef at a huge hotel, and he lives like a half a block down. You know, if you're at Pizza Port San Clemente, there's like this balcony that you can sit on that's upstairs.
yeah.
So if you're sitting there, you can see his house from there.
Wow.
And he's never been to Pizza Port. So like it was like 4th of July. I'm like, we're gonna go up and get a growler of beer and bring it back to the party. He's like, okay. And he's never been there in his life. And fast forward like 4 years now, and he's like, man, I'm there every fucking day. Like the beer's so good. He's so good. I'm like, well, you know, whenever you can turn a chef on to really good beer, that's a fun day.
But I cannot say enough good about this beer. Go fucking chase them down. This Strata El Segundo beer.
Strata.
Well, you love
the
Strata in
must.
general.
It's one of the best fucking hop varietals. It's one of the best West Coast IPA breweries. Jason may argue the best, and this is a fucking
It's
top notch.
the best.
Jason, if you want to call them the best, then I'm not going to argue. I mean, they're great. I mean,
We got to do a blind showdown with let's throw a Metaplex in there. Let's throw the that Strata beer.
That'd be
Okay.
fun.
Throw some Pizza
when
Port
we
in
get in
there.
studio doing like a blind West Coast IPA showdown, that'd be fucking
Yeah.
dope.
I thought we'd be in the studio by now, but even
Yeah.
the beerists have gone back to remote. Like they did like 2 or 3 in studio, and then nope, we're going back.
Bye bye.
Yeah, it's just anyway. Tim,
Yeah.
go.
Okay.
You've been holding a can this whole time, so
I'm like, So next up, I have this is from Southern Grist out of Nashville. It's a double dry hopped mixed greens, is what they're calling this one.
I've heard of this
So
beer.
I'm a home brewer. I know what grist means. It's a gross word. It does not conjure a good image. Like when you're like, yeah, you want some of that southern
milled?
grist. It's like
Grist is milled grain.
Yeah, that's what grist is.
I understand what the word means, but the word sounds like it's something gross.
I don't know.
Huh.
Maybe I just haven't made that. Maybe I'm just not so deep into the.
The first time I heard the word was in association with like a grain bill, like the grist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same. It's just one of those words that always sounds kind of, I don't know, it doesn't sound right.
This is a
Okay.
6.2% hazy boy featuring Waiti, Citra, and Vic's Secret. So it's got a pretty interesting hop bill on there.
Kill Waiti is what I say.
Oh,
Of course. Kill Waiti.
It's
I mean,
Vic's
Kill
secret.
Waiti.
it's about the same color as the Super Citrus New Anthem, but it's a little more hop forward than it is necessarily like citrus fruit forward. Still getting a lot of the citrus fruit, but it's getting a bit more of that like hoppy bitter aroma, which is really nice, and same on the flavor. And I mean, I've talked about Southern Grist enough times. I feel like it's I'm going to talk about it the same way like you guys talk about Swami's. We went there once when we were in Nashville. Everything was cool. They make some really good like sugar bomb, like lactose fruited sours that I wish we could get here. But this is the first IPA I think I've had from them, and it's pretty solid. So I'm stoked.
Do you think
Nice.
it's a playoff of Southern Grits?
Maybe
It might
I
be.
could probably go research that, but I'm lazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
It does roll off the tongue too, I think. Southern grist. Southern grist.
Like gristle is like the crap
That's
left
where you're
behind
getting
after
it.
you eat like meat.
Southern
right?
gristle. It's chewy fat.
Yeah, exactly. It's like all the shit left after you eat a steak.
Yeah, but that's totally different though.
Grist. It's the same word with
Gristle.
"ol" at the end. Southern
Yeah,
gristle.
but it's not the same word.
Southern
so-
Crystal. Nice. Greg, what are you opening, man?
I'm covering up the style of this beer to see if you can guess what it is. It's called Feedback Loop. It's from Bottle Logic. It's in a shiny can with a fancy label with arrows pointing back at each other. What style of beer do you think this is?
Feedback loop.
6% alcohol.
Logic.
Well, I see ale.
Yep, there's an ale.
Oh, is this the brown?
It is a brown.
Sorry, I
brown
read your
ale.
notes earlier.
Ding. Yeah.
Wow.
I thought it was a joke, honestly, when I bought it. I was like, no way, they just brewed a straight up brown ale. Like, there's their
So
cacao
what does it
nibs
have
in
to
Who
do?
makes-
What does
who
it have
makes
to do with the
brown ale
name?
anyway?
What's that?
Sorry, John, go ahead.
So what does feedback loop have to do with it being a brown ale? That's like, how are we supposed to guess that from looking at the label?
I
have
have no idea. It's just a it's a Bottle Logic name.
I
that,
think it's
has
just
something to do with programming or something.
It's the same as him being like, you guys will never guess what style of beer this is. It's a brown ale. That's crazy.
It's just a straight up brown ale. There's
You know
no
what that is?
adjuncts.
It's good radio.
That's
There's no
why.
adjunct.
It's just-
because-
Like, what is it, 4.5 or something like that?
6.
Oh,
It's
it's
on the can.
it was. We just said that. Yeah, it's 6. Oh, that's a
And,
little high for a brown ale. That's getting into porter territory, I think. But
But like you guys, I mean, we've talked multiple times about how brown ale is one like you don't really see anymore. And honestly, I
No.
can't think of the last time I've had / seen one. Period.
I never have.
what's
liked
the first brown ale that comes to mind for me?
Newcastle.
Newcastle. It's trash.
For me, it's Ellie's brown ale. I think that's from
Ellie's, yeah.
Avery. No, yeah, is
Yeah,
it Avery?
With
For
that
me, it'd
chocolate
be
lab on it.
Golden
Yeah.
Roads. Get up off of that brown.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too. I remember.
Or
Brown note from fucking
James Brown. James Brown
note
from Beechwood.
with the shit in the underwear on the label.
Yeah,
horrible, horrible label.
Newcastle was the first I had, and the first that comes to mind, honestly.
Tastes like pennies. Fuck
Well,
that beer.
that's fair. I'm not saying it's good. We just said first that comes to mind.
yeah.
Jason,
same.
have you tried the new Newcastle from Lagunitas? You don't like it? Oh, okay.
I think I did, but I don't give a shit. Fuck a brown ale.
Yeah, I bought it once, and I'm
I
like,
like a good
it's
brown ale.
different.
Come on.
Oh,
It's-
hold on.
it's sort of
Kyle
chocolatey.
mentioned downtown. Who did downtown?
Lost Coast.
Lost Coast. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
OG
that's
Lost
a
Coast
classic.
fanboy over here. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean, you guys, it's a brown ale. It's got chocolatey notes on the nose. It's got a sort of the Levi Garrett chewing tobacco on the finish. It's straight up. It's good. It's complex for a brown ale. It's got a lot going on.
Where'd you get that beer?
Right. I got this at Windsor actually, and then I walked
Okay.
over to Bottle Logic and bought more beer. I like to support I spread
There
my
you go.
wealth.
I would do the same thing if I was in your area. Like, it's so rad having such an awesome brewery like Bottle
Park
Logic next to
once.
a great bottle shop / homebrew shop like Windsor. That's
Dude,
cool.
yeah, park once, drink twice.
we got to get the bottle slop them up.
Getting sloppy. You kids like them sloppy.
Wait, did we hit
Slopping up.
fourth show already?
We're slopping up those bottles. Slop
dude,
them up.
Bottle Logic's tasting room in Anaheim, it's getting quite popular. Every time I go, there's at least 4 or 5 people back there
Well,
sipping on beers.
You mean
Well,
Windsor's?
Windsor?
or-
Yeah.
Like, you said Bottle Logic. I'm like, they're
Oh,
already
I'm
very
sorry. Yeah,
popular.
Windsor.
Yeah.
Windsor has
I
a.
was like, if I went to Bottle Logic and there was 4 or 5 people there, I'd thank my fucking lucky stars that I got there. So,
Speaking of
Yeah,
hold on,
they're
speaking
packed.
of tasting rooms, Greg, I guess everybody, what's the last tasting room you hit up?
I was at Smog City's Glendora tap room yesterday, which is weird. It's a weird time to be out.
Yeah.
I got there when it was not super busy, thankfully, and then
Same.
pieced the fuck out.
Yeah, just bought beer to go.
I can't remember. I can't remember.
We had a couple of pints at Brewery West first week of January.
Ooh,
but
I
it's
guess,
they've got a huge outdoors. There was like
Yeah.
no one there.
we did hit Radiant on Thursday. The wife and I, we sat down outside
Oh, yeah.
and had
When
some beers.
Robert French was in town, that was the last time I went somewhere. It was Radiant, and we went to another brewery that I'm not going to name.
Dude, Smog's Glendora thing is kind of genius because they're in one of those like food halls, and they are the only place that has alcohol.
Yeah.
So
Love it.
They've got
Beechwood
a lot
has
of
one of
beer.
those,
They've got
too.
like 15 or 20 taps, but it's basically like if you want alcohol in this place, you go to the Smog tap.
Yeah, that was the last brewery tasting room I was at. The last place I drank beer at was with Jason and Sarah at the what's it called?
Hooters.
No, Riverside. Not the Food Lab. It's called something else.
The
big-
Food Lab.
It's called the Food. Okay, it is the Food Lab. All right.
Yeah,
We
Cool.
were at.
it's called Beer Farm. is
There
the
you go,
name of
Beer
the,
Farm. Thank
the
you.
Beer place in there.
That's a great name.
Yeah, they're cool. They're a cool spot. They generally have a pretty good, well curated tap list.
That was
Beer.
before Omicron. Fucking. I think before it even got like mentioned in the media. I think like it was.
Yeah. It
Before
was
it
like
fucked
The
everyone over
final
again.
days of Delta. So
2 months ago when we were thinking this shit was all going to blow over.
Yeah.
Woo. So we wished.
Going
who's
back to
moving on
my
what?
beer, I'm gonna finish up my beer.
Sorry.
Going back to Open Itinerary from Pizza Port, comparing it to Swami's, Swami's is more of like a citrus forward, very bitter, clean finishing, dry beer. This beer, it's very similar in that same vein. Got more of like a grassy kind of danky note, a little bit of an asparagus feel to the flavor, not in like an off flavor kind of way, but like that kind of,
I know exactly
earthy-
what you say when you say that.
Yeah, it's enjoyable. It's very nice. It's a very similar beer. Like on, this is both beers side by side. They look very, very similar, but really good. I'd like to know what HBC HBC 586 is, because I think that's definitely what's lending that kind of earthy dank note, because Citra is pretty clean and, it's Citra. It's called Citra for a reason. It's citrusy. So, but overall, it's a good beer. Super fresh. It's about a week old. I'm a fan. You cannot go wrong with buying Pizza Port IPAs in cans at the store. Just always excellent. So,
And I will also mention, sorry, really quick, widely available. Like Pizza Port,
yeah.
they have at least 2 or 3 different options in my standard grocery store. So you're looking.
the
for
other
it,
thing
you'll
with their
find it.
cans, like they don't use like shrink wrap labels. Like these labels, this is printed on the can. Like they get cans made for this thing. So it's like when they decide to release a beer to the mass market, they're committing to it. They get the cans printed. They do it the right way. Again, one of the only breweries I can think of that does a 6-pack of 16-ounce cans. I love it. I wish more breweries would go to that, because a lot of them do like a 4-pack of 16-ounce cans, which is also fine. But those extra 2 beers, it's like you get more bang for your buck. Like it might cost you an extra $2 or something, but you're getting way more than you would out of a 4-pack.
The thing with
So-
Pizza Port is they usually are priced pretty on par with 4-packs, if not cheaper.
Exactly.
And so
Oh,
you're like,
100%.
$13.99 for 6 16-ounce cans of like a really hoppy IPA. Like, fuck yeah.
I wanna
beats
say
paying
this was
$19.99 for 4.
Yeah, and this was at Bevmo, and I want to say it was $16 for 6 pints. So it's a great buy.
100%.
I'm gonna grab my next beer.
Has everyone
Me
done their
too.
second one, or are we all moving to a third?
We're all going to third.
Tim, did you
third.
do your second? You did? All right. Cool.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the mixed greens.
Okay. I want to make sure.
Yeah, more
The
on
first
3.
one was all about the greasy chub.
Get that greasy old chub. Oh, man. I had a monster can here. I was going to do a whole fucking bit about canarchy.
That'd be great. Right here, I got some monster that's been barrel aged.
I was actually considering we should maybe chit chat about that. But see, we always come out, we're like, hey, we have these news topics we should talk about, and then we're like, meh.
I mean, we can if you want.
So my next beer, I got this Oscar Blues can. It's got this cool M that looks like it was made with claws, and also low carb, which is
I thought it said
something
low
I really
crab.
like in beer.
Low
It's low crab. It's got less crab than leading beers.
It's like a michelada with crab
And
juice in it.
unlike most beer, it comes with some free in-game content for Apex Legends. So
So good.
It's dry January too, and it's alcohol free, so
that's right.
you can get your
right.
B12 without the alcohol.
Canarchy's new NA line.
For the
Barrel-aged monster.
podcast listeners and not the 4 people that are watching this on video, that was a Monster Energy can because Monster Energy just bought Canarchy, which is Oscar Blues and Cigar City.
Oscar Blue, Cigar City, Perrin Brewing, and some other breweries sprinkled in there.
Used to be Three Weavers, but I guess they got out a little while ago.
Yeah.
The
So-
unpaved.
John mentioned that he was happy Three Weavers got out. I saw that on the Twitters, and I was curious. I can't remember what happened there. I knew they went in, but I don't remember reading about them coming out.
Yeah, they got out. I think October or November of last year.
But got out as in they're independent again, or somebody else? bought
They're
them?
they're independent again.
Oh,
and
that's
I don't know
awesome.
the details because I read a headline and kind of grazed an article. And back then I was just, it's like, oh, cool. Like, I mean, it wasn't like, oh, cool, you're out of Canarchy, because Canarchy was still kind of a cool thing where it was a group, of smaller breweries that could benefit from being involved with kind of as if they were purchased by a larger brewery and had the
Forming
benefits of
a
being part of a
brewery
larger
Voltron, if you
organization.
will.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, like,
Brewery Voltron.
Matt Becker brewed for Canarchy, right?
He brewed for Oscar Blues.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
But yeah, when
But
he was there, they
making
were already
High Life.
Canarchy. Yeah, he was making High Life.
But yeah, he was making, yeah, exactly. So, on paper, it was cool. But like everything else, it's a business, and Canarchy sold to Monster for what was
Shit
it,
ton
like
of
around
money.
300
A lot of
million
money.
or something like that.
I think we kind of started a discussion the other day, like who's going to be the last one standing. I think all of the large regionals are going to merge or be acquired because you just have to compete at that scale. When you're trying to be a 50-state brewery, it's really hard to do that on your
Yeah.
own.
It was 330 million.
Yeah, and I think Monster is actually owned partially by Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
No, they have a distribution deal, but
Okay.
not
Oh.
ownership. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, and the Brewers Association came out and said, "Yep, they're still craft beer because the place that bought them does not sell alcohol products."
Yeah.
And
Kind of driven the designation
With the brewery.
down to nothing.
the people that matter on in the media for beer are just like, okay, fine, whatever, BA.
What you
Like,
got to do, man?
it's
Well, again, it's a reminder the BA is there to protect the interests of their members. They're not a consumer group. They're not an advocacy group. They are an industry group. And
that's a good point. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, those breweries that like Cigar City, it was cool when they first came out here to the West Coast, but now I never buy High Light or anything from Cigar City. I don't care because they were like a hype brewery that would like do big barrel aged beer releases and stuff like that. And
It was from what I remember, it was the barrel aged stuff that was the only thing that I ever heard about really getting that much hype. Like, I had a
Yeah.
friend who was like, "Oh, my buddy hooked me up with this barrel aged Cigar City." I'm like, "Oh, cool!" And then I didn't know
I'm
about
still
anything
watching
else.
in one of my beer discords. I'm still watching people get all hyped, getting different variants of Hunapu that are fucking.
Oh,
coming
yeah,
out right
that's-
now
That's
the one.
tasty.
for Catador members.
I mean, if they're still putting out good product, then by all means buy it.
Yeah,
This buyout to the general public doesn't mean anything. It's
Exactly.
more for people that are concerned about who owns the products that you're buying and where's your money going and all that kind of stuff, and which is important. But at the end of the day, I wasn't buying a lot of that stuff to begin with, and I think Three Weavers was the one brewery at Canarchy that I bought the most of, and they got out before this happened. Whether it was by coincidence or they knew something was going to go down, I think Lynn Weaver I don't think she'd be too happy to be owned by Monster. Like, she's a very, very
I still want to Photoshop.
craft
I want to
focused.
figure out how to Photoshop a GIF so I can just put a highlight in that Kyle Monster energy, like where he's drinking like a Mountain Dew and a Monster at the same time. I just want to
Yeah.
put a highlight over the Mountain Dew and just be like, ah.
highlight code red. Yeah.
So on the opposite end of that spectrum, I have a brewery that proudly advertises that they are still independent.
Meisterbrow?
And a brewery that we don't see as much
that's
in Southern
Drake's?
California as we used to. This is Drake's Hopocalypse. Their white label Hopocalypse is
In a
now
can. Wow.
hazy double
Sexy.
IPA in a can. It's
That's some sweet lettering. I love that.
they kind of revived their
It's a good
old
font.
nameplate to make a new beer. I
Correct me
guess.
if I'm wrong. The white label Apocalypse was the one that was hard to get in a bottle, right?
It used to be their equivalent of Pliny the Younger.
Yeah.
Basically, it was a triple IPA. It is now a hazy double IPA. And I was just really surprised to see it on shelves. You don't see Drake's that much in Southern California anymore. And it's cool to revisit an old friend, even if it's an old friend that's fucking changed up their whole thing. But it's a American and New Zealand hops joining forces for a hazy double IPA, 8.4%.
That's kind of cool though. They're, changing the beer to adapt to the times and the tastes of, modern beer drinkers. I'm okay with that.
I'm down with
Yeah.
Drake's. They make some good stuff, especially Hopocalypse. That was like a must get beer back in the day.
Yep.
You saw it in the big old bomber, and you're like, oh yeah, someone's gonna get drunk tonight.
That's what I'm saying. Especially the white label Apocalypse. That was the one that was always hard to get because it was like the triple IPA.
The white whale, yeah.
And it was actually good for a triple IPA, from what I remember. Like
It was
wasn't
like a-
just hype.
It was a brewery only release. It was a tricky one to get. So
Yeah.
It's kind of cool to see them reviving it. It's a little bit of a throwback for those of us who've been around for a hot minute. I'm trying to see if they actually list which hops are in this. It's a weird mix. It's kind of an old meets new. So Warrior, Cascade, Centennial, Citra. That's very old school, right?
Wow.
With Idaho 7 and Jarillo. Or Jarillo?
Jarillo sounds right.
But
Jason Jarillo.
Wow, that was a hazy
Jason
boy.
Jarillo. Yeah, this is a hazy boy. The malt bill is 2-row Pilsner malt, wheat, white wheat, naked oats, flaked rye, and grain
Ooh,
Miller
look at that
oats.
head, dude. That is a good
Yeah, it's got a nice creamy head.
That looks
thumb thick.
that looks really delicious.
It's dummy thick head on it.
So here's the thing. So the yeast, they say that luckily they give all these details still, which is cool. This is how you can tell they're an old school brewery. Verdant yeast. Have you guys ever heard of that?
Nope. I've not.
Google might
Yeah,
have.
no idea what that is. So I'm going to look that up. But this beer is very... it's marketed as a hazy APA, and the malt bill is a hazy APA. This doesn't taste like a hazy APA. It's got a lot of bitter in it. A lot of old school West Coast.
Nice.
It's tricky hazy boys. They're like...
It's difficult
is
to
this?
teach an old dog new tricks.
Spitting it out.
Why is it so bitter?
Spit take.
I hate this.
Oh,
If
damn.
you like the old Apocalypse, you will like this beer. So
That's good. I want to check that out. That sounds
Cool.
yummy. Where'd you buy it?
Red Carpet Liquor, which is one of the
Okay.
better stores in the area.
Red Carpet. Like that's the worst name for a liquor store.
I think I like it. It's I don't know. What's wrong with
Actually,
it, Greg?
it's a Red Carpet Wine and Spirits.
Okay.
Greg, to be technical.
Good.
Bougie Greg over here.
No, I know where Greg's going with it.
Yeah. I mean, come on. My name is Greg Nagel.
So I'm opening a beer that another beer I got from Bevmo. This is from Artifex, and this is their No Name IPA. This is an IPA made with Simcoe, Centennial, and Mosaic hops. 7.5% alcohol by volume, 80 IBU, and it's a clear IPA. Again, this is fitting in theme with
Dry January.
Dry January. So, it's a dry West Coast IPA.
God.
Very clear.
All right.
Yeah, looks good.
Well, I'll go and I'll take it to the actual dry January. Okay, so I've got another one actually from Southern Grist, Jason's favorite brewery name now. This is their
Give me some of that
parallel
grist.
fruited sour. This is actually a non-alcoholic passion fruit and raspberry fruited sour. They were hyping this on their Insta for a while, and I got it when they released it. It's a funny story behind this. I ordered it, and I didn't get it for, I'd say, probably a good solid month, maybe month and a half. And there's a funny story. It was shipped to me. Obviously, they ship their regular beers, but because of laws and all the bullshit that's going on there, they can only distribute to certain states. But since this is non-alcoholic, they can go all the states, right?
Mhm.
So I order it, and it's sent, and I'm tracking it. It's like, oh, got to Lancaster and then sent back. Couldn't figure out what was going on. I email him. He's like, oh, okay, well, let me try again. Sends it, gets to the shipping depot in Lancaster, sent back. So what it turns out is their UPS vendor ID is flagged as alcohol. And as soon as it hit California, I was the first one in California to order this from them. They just automatically were flagged and like sent back. So they had to go through the whole process of getting like a whole new shipping code just so I could get my damn beer.
It's almost like they have to file a new, I don't know, shipping thing.
That's exactly I had a whole email thread with their operations manager, and he's like, I talked to my UPS rep, and we got a new number, and
Yeah. Okay.
it finally showed up, and it's pretty fantastic.
So, I mean, a fruited sour beer, what if he just like made like a slushy like with fruit and added some like lactic acid to it and then put it in a can? Like, is
Yeah.
that
I mean,
It's like
more
yogurt.
more or less. It comes across with a little bit of like a fruited lemonade sort of feel, but it has that sort of like the pucker and the mouth feel that you'd get from like a sour beer.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a good style.
juice, but it's really interesting.
I think that's a good style to make as a non-alcoholic beer because there's so many, like, you're not depending on like the malt flavor coming through or hops coming through or anything like that. Like, fruited sours are basically tart beers, quote unquote, that are just heavily fruited, and you're tasting the fruits more than anything else with like a little hint of acidic bite on, on your, in the back of your jaw kind of thing.
Like, I think realistically, fruited sour beers, like the way a lot of them are, like if the law allowed, they would not be beer at all. They would just throw some spirits in there because the beer isn't really a flavor element.
Yeah, the
No doubt.
alcohol is kind of secondary to fruited sours, right? I mean,
Yeah.
heavily fruited sours that are, to the point where they're almost like milkshakey kind of sours. Like, the alcohol, I mean, it's there as a bonus, I guess, if you want to get a buzz. But if it wasn't there, you probably wouldn't notice a difference at all because it's so fruity.
Yeah, and I mean one of the things that my wife and I liked, and again circling back, Southern Grist, they had their Hill series, which is like these super lactose fruit bombs, and so it was kind of cool to be able to, since we can't get the regular beer shipped here, it was cool to just check this out. Obviously, like, we love fruited sours, and NA is nice touch, and so it was just overall really cool. And I mean, if you're looking for something to break up the like awardy sort of fake,
Yeah.
NA beer thing, and you just want something that's like going to have that pucker and fit that sort of area, I would highly recommend it. It's really delicious. And, now that they have their new shipping number, if you're listening to us in California, you can get it.
Is it like, as far as the sweetness goes, is it pretty much on par with any kind of like fruited sour, or is it a bit over the top? Or like, can you pick out any differences between that having no alcohol and a regular fruited sour with alcohol?
Me personally, I don't think I'm as sensitive as you all, but like, I don't think so. I could,
because I would think it's undetectable.
Yeah,
it's like, again, you're just masking it with so much fruit and sugar. So.
Yeah, more or less. And the thing is it's not coming across as, if this was like a fruit puree lactose bomb, then that actually tends to reside more on the like sugary sweet, and this one is a lot more in the like fruity, and maybe it's because it's raspberry and passion fruit, but it's more in that like tart sour with the sweetness of the fruit, but it's not like I'm drinking sugar. which is
Right.
really nice. A nice touch.
Cool.
Yeah.
Greg, did you open
Oh.
something yet?
Yeah, I opened a thermal intake from Bottle Logic. This is it looks very much like their double actuator.
Yeah, it does.
It's a double IPA. Pairs well with Nashville hot chicken, not just a chicken sandwich, but
They're on a real chicken kick lately.
it's
huh?
the same 8.5% as I think it's probably the same malt bill as double actuator, but different hops.
How much you want to bet that they got tired of people in their tasting room walking up and being like, "Can I get a double
They had-
double actually?"
So double actuator was there on sale as well, right next to this beer, and I thought of doing like a side by side with it, but I was like, I don't really drink that much double IPA, so I was fine just buying this one 4-pack.
Thermal Intake is a cool beer name. Like, I like that name, Thermal Intake. Another name that rolls off the tongue. I like it.
Because you're intaking the heat of the alcohol, John. It's just going into your system. You're just sucking it down.
Aha.
But
yes.
You're reading too far into this.
so, I mean, this is all classic hops too. I don't know why they changed the beer name. That's Columbus, Amarillo, and Citra, whereas double actuator is Centennial, Columbus, Mosaic, and Citra, and then dry hopped a little more. But it's sort of got that like classic double IPA take where like the IPAs of yesteryear.
Columbus has a dankiness to it that you don't get out of a lot of modern hops. Like Columbus is just that dank and sticky, old school pine, resiny, like Northwestern IPA.
See, I don't get any of that in this beer. It's very fresh and melon-like. It's got this like wonderful cantaloupe juice.
I mean, the Columbus, they could have used Columbus like Matt Becker uses Columbus as just for like a nice overall bittering hop. That may lend some characteristics outside of, you know, the 60-minute boil, but for the most part, it's a fairly high alpha hop that's good for bittering, and maybe the Citra was heavy-handed in that, you know, if it was dry hopped or, you know, the post boil hops or something like that. So,
what I really like about this beer is it's very fresh. Like it smells very like spring-like almost, like. It's hard to explain, but like that melon character, that like spring breeze sort of looking.
How is it
in your dryer? You know, it's like that fresh spring. I don't know. What were you gonna ask?
How is it as far as like the dryness? The
Extremely
malts?
dry.
It's very
It's
dry.
not
okay.
like Maharaja or something like that. It's very in that vein of like. I remember double actuator as being a 10% beer back in the day.
Yeah.
I think it was like it came out around the same time as like Knuckle Sandwich, and it was like their take on that big double/triple IPA. And it looks like they toned both of these beers down to like a manageable 8.5, which I appreciate. Like
I agree.
And you know what? Your Maharaja style double IPA is kind of dead in today's market.
I do not want that. Yeah.
I mean, 90 minutes still around. That's kind of one of the originals of that, right?
Yeah, but I think that has nostalgia value to it. Like where
it also had a huge, I think, especially back east, the brand recognition on 90 Minute is huge.
Yeah, no, I think that beer overall had a big influence overall for IPA in general across the country. So you know, it's got good brand value, and I wouldn't stop selling it, but I don't want beers like that as far as IPA goes.
the flavor profile reminds me a lot of 90 Minute for whatever reason. There's just something about that
interesting.
melon character. Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good example. It's good stuff. I'd buy it again. Actually, it's really well done.
Like Knuckle Sandwich is very regional, right? Like, so for us, that's a very like, oh yeah, Knuckle Sandwich bootleggers, but that never really made it out of Southern California.
That was a 10% Simcoe and Amarillo.
But I think 90 Minute is the closest analog that like everybody's tried. Knuckle Sandwich is a very 90 Minute-esque beer.
Have we all waited in line for Knuckle Sandwich?
Oh yeah,
At some point, I have.
at the
Jason?
old tasting room.
I don't know about waiting in line now.
Yeah, me and Greg then at the old tasting room waiting in line for Knuckle
Dude,
Sandwich.
I drove by bootleggers after Bottle Logic to see what they had, and I couldn't find a parking place, so I just kept driving. That's kind of a bummer. I found
sucks.
I found this rad natural wine shop, and that just opened up. So I popped in, met the owners, bought a couple bottles of natural wine, and hope to check those out.
I gotta say, Bootleggers is another brewery we got to check in with because like there was some shenanigans with them during the pandemic and the Black Lives Matter stuff. Not that anything bad happened with them, but like we were involved with certain things that they were doing and like online and saying things, and Aaron was kind of trying to navigate these waters in a certain way, and I think he came out doing everything the right way.
He did, yeah.
Especially
He
with
changed.
you know, when they had to close down. And
It was such a bummer for him too. I visited them when they were
Yeah.
shut down, and Patricia was there, and like just tears in her eyes, like how sad it was to lay off all their staff right around Christmas time, and and doing the right thing for the community and making your presence known. Whereas the rest of Fullerton just was wide open, and they're this one beacon that was like sticking it out. It was
they
really
did the
cool to
right
see.
thing, and I think we gave them as a podcast like at least a few $100.
Yeah, yeah.
and,
The
you know,
meals
so
for
another
wanna
brewery
say
we should check in with and revisit
100%.
their beers.
And I think
For
it's
sure.
important to reward the companies that did the hard thing.
Absolutely.
Because it was really easy to just be like, yeah, fuck it. Just come in. Who cares?
Yeah, in hindsight, it looks like it wasn't that big of a deal, but when you're living in the moment, like day to day, it was a big deal. Like, because it was something you see on social media every day.
And again, if you're willing to fucking throw out one health code, then which other ones do you not care about?
yes.
True. Yeah.
Right?
So we're at like over an hour and 10. Do we want to do another or just call it at our 3?
I got another.
What do you guys want to do?
I'm
I'm
fine
down
doing
to call-
another.
I'm down
I
to
don't
call
even
it.
work tomorrow.
But I have to work tomorrow, so
I don't.
Sucks.
maybe I should take today off. I don't know.
I actually really wanted to talk about this beer. So
Okay.
All right, then do it. Go for it. Let me wrap up my thoughts on this Artifex beer.
yeah.
So this beer from Artifex, No Name. It's nothing special. I think it could be because it was sitting on a warm shelf in Bevmo for 3 months, which I'm
Ooh,
almost
yeah, that's
positive that's why. But you know, when an IPA sits on a shelf for that long in warm weather or warmish, like 60, 70 degree temperatures, it will degrade the hops in that beer. And you can definitely tell that's happened with this beer, but it still held up pretty well. Got a nice dank note, a bit fruity, very dry, fitting in with dry January. And it's overall, it's fine. I wish places like Bevmo and Total Wine would dedicate more space to keeping IPA cold, because that's so important in keeping these beers fresh and preserving their flavors and aromas.
Dude,
And
last
it's,
time
it's sad when you walk into a Bevmo and see like shelves of IPA that are super fresh, just chilling. in-
Dude, my local Bevmo got rid of half of their beer thing, and now they sell like snacks and shit.
oh,
Wow. Beer's
So-
beer's officially dead. It's all seltzer now.
great.
Yeah, we should make our podcast a no Bevmo zone from here on out. Just
I went there as a last resort because it would have cost me another 40 minutes to go to Redlands.
oh yeah,
and
okay, you're
back.
forgiven.
And it's my
But,
own
uh,
fault.
Yeah.
I had a busy morning and, you know, I didn't make it happen. But I'd be down for that if we want to just avoid Bevmo. Not Total Wine.
I mean, I
Total
do
Wine,
that
I
just
think.
in my life.
Toast
Yeah.
is cool.
But I live close to a Total
Just
Wine.
don't buy
You're
hoppy
not.
beer off the warm shelf. That's all.
That's it. But the thing is, you go to the cold box at Bevmo and they had Swamis in there. They had 3 Stone IPAs and everything else was like
They
Coors
pay to
Light.
get those
You know,
placements too.
Sierra Nevada hoppy stuff. It's just a lot of lager, even lager. Put that on the shelf, you know,
Right?
like that'll
Belgian
that'll
beers,
hold.
get them out of the cooler.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, but what they're trying to appeal to is the guy that just wants a 12-pack for tonight and they want cold beer, right? So
That's me every time I buy beer.
But
Yeah.
the casual, like they only have 1/10 of their beer space is cold, and so they're like, well, we need the guy that just wants a 12-pack for tonight to be able to get cold beer. So let's put all the lager and dad beer in there because.
Yeah, I guess.
But I really want to talk about my next beer.
What are you drinking next, Jason?
What do you got?
So this is kind of a weird one to see here. This is Half Acre, which is, I believe, a Chicago brewery.
Oh,
No,
wow.
I think
Chicago.
so. Yes,
Chicago.
yes.
It is Galaxy Double Daisy Cutter. So
What?
Daisy Cutter
Ooh,
was
Daisy
their kind
Cutter
of-
is a good one.
was their big IPA get back in the day. And I poured this beer. The beer is over here. You can see my arm reaching off camera, and it smells so fucking good, you guys.
Wow.
Like
Ooh.
from over there.
Yeah, Daisy
So that's
Cutter.
like 3 feet away then. Like
Yeah.
that's an arm span, right?
Daisy
So-
Cutter is sort of like the Sierra Nevada Pale Ale of the East Coast.
Yeah, I remember that was a real big get for quite a while early on.
So this one, it's marketed as a hazy, and it is very hazy. This is very like kind of white, milky for an IPA.
I mean, if you told me that was a modern take on Daisy Cutter, I would not believe you. They kept the name but revamped the beer, definitely, for
But the
whatever
aroma
this variant is.
huge. It just smells so fruity and tropical. Like just, oh man, it smells really good. And I haven't even drank it yet. So it's 8%, I think, 8.2 or something like that. It is a legit double IPA, yeah, 8% with Galaxy and Citra.
Nice. Yeah, last time I had that beer was in Chicago at a Portillo's.
I think the last time I had Daisy Cutter was also in Chicago. We were there filming when I was with New Brew Thursday for the "I Am a Craft Beer Drinker" video. If you
I am
guys
a
have
craft beer
seen
drinker.
that. Which is aged okay. But yeah, I think we were at Daisy Cutter, and that's where we filmed with Sarah Huska, which she is no longer in the beer scene. She was a part of the Cicerone program at the time. I'm still friends with her on Instagram and Facebook, and she's married now, has a kid. That that's when I was at
The good old
Half Acre.
days.
Yeah.
Daisy Cutter is named after a bomb.
Yeah, it is.
I did not know
Like
that.
there's
That's cool.
there's a really big, it's like one of the bigger non-atomic bombs, I believe it's called.
It
Daisy
is
Cutter.
the biggest. Yeah, it drops in such a fashion that it shaves the face of the earth. That's what they call it,
Ooh.
a Daisy Cutter.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
So
And
it doesn't
so-
destroy everything, like
Oh, it does.
to the point of
it'll-
nuclear.
It'll
Like
get
you're
rid
gonna.
of everything on, like in its blast radius is just nothing.
But the grass will be okay.
Yeah, exactly.
All the
Nothing
insects
happened.
are like, whoa, what?
My house is gone, but my grass is still green. Perfect. The association will be happy.
This
HOA
is
will
a
be
very
happy.
this is a very interesting beer. It's a little east meets west. It's a little bit hazy meets kind of west coast. It's not super bitter, but the hop character isn't as muted as a lot of hazy IPAs. It's got a bit more hop bite on the end, which is pretty good. But the mouthfeel still very soft. The malt bill I feel is very. I mean, this looks very
That
much
is
like
so pale.
typical hazy. Yeah, it's very white. This looks like a
Hoegaarden.
like a milky Hoegaarden, and yeah, really solid beer.
That's my stripper name, Milky Hoegaarden.
For the way that beer looks, and for you to call it a solid beer, like I would not believe you. It looks too hazy for me to enjoy.
It looks so
Yeah,
hazy. Dear
They
God.
managed to get the hop character, and it's a hazy IPA that somehow doesn't have hop schmear. Like the hop character still is there. Like I'm like, okay, I get Galaxy and Citra out of this. Like I'm getting the actual character of the hops. I don't know what the difference is and how they pulled it off, but this is actually a really fucking good beer.
Awesome.
dropping bombs. Chicago bombs.
And I thought it'd be nice to. We've got kind of a couple brand new recipes from some old favorites, and then a couple new twists on old classics in my mix. So I thought that was a
Very
little
nice.
fun little roundup there.
Yeah.
Cool. I think I'm going
All
to
right.
skip out of my last one.
Yeah, same here. My last one was a saison from a local brewery. So, but it's the show's done, so you can stop recording.
Yeah.
But Derek Bougie, he worked for Angry Horse at one point.
Ba-ba-doo-ba-boom.
If you guys have heard of Angry Horse, I think they're in Montebello.
have
And they
not.
had a 4-pack on shelves, and their beer was in the cold box at Bevmo, but it's a fucking saison. Like, okay, but I didn't know it was. I assumed it was an IPA until I actually looked at it, but it's a saison with hibiscus, and I'm like, eh.
I had
If you've had one saison with hibiscus, you've had them all. Like,
I had this. I was gonna follow up with another fruited sour, Imperial Euphoria from
Trim tab.
Trim Tab. It's a passion fruit guava fruited Berliner Weiss at 8%. 8%.
So it was because I did stop recording.
The interesting
yeah.
thing,
We're
there's a
not,
QR code here that's like beer comes with surround sound. It actually links to a Spotify playlist, which was kind
Oh,
of
I love that.
nifty.
Stereo Brewing does that too.
That's
Yeah.
really cool. Yeah.
I had this coffee French toast stout from Weldworks.
Save it. Save it for
Yeah.
next week.
I will.
So Kyle had a question for the after show. That's now.
okay. What are the chances, in your opinion, that someone had a named package and ready to beer?
Dude, go to Phantom Ale. I'm pretty
Phantom
sure they
Ale
probably
works?
Phantom Ale. Yeah, Phantom.
Well, he's talking about a variety of hops.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hops
Oh,
don't
okay.
use a lot of Greek names. Like, I guess you have like Apollo and a couple like that, but it's not impossible, but I don't think so.
I'm sure somebody's named a beer called Omicron by now.
Yeah, of course.
It's true what they say. Men are from Omicron Persei 7. Women are from Omicron Persei 8.
That's the first thing I thought of when they announced that. It's like
That's all. Yeah, that's all I think of every time I hear it.
What is that from?
Futurama.
Oh, I don't watch. Yeah.
Was it Blurg? Do you remember his name?
I do not.
I do not.
Tim, have you played Valheim yet with the kiddo?
I don't even know what that is.
It's like a modern Viking style Minecraft.
No, but I guess we'll have to check it out.
It's on Steam. I picked it up during the holidays for like $14.
My brother played it a lot. Like
It's
6
great.
months ago. Yeah.
I'm having a lot of fun with it.
I feel almost like embarrassed to be part of it, but I play a lot of Roblox with him.
That's cool. I mean,
There's a lot of
anytime you
random
get that-
games in
that-
there.
my daughter doesn't like playing games with me, but she does play games a lot.
Yeah,
She's like, no, I bought Far Cry and she had it.
yeah.
We
He's
both had
limited-
it. And she's like, yeah, I don't want to play with you. God damn it.
He's very limited to tablet only games right now. But I can play on the Xbox, and they have this thing. It's actually, I found this really entertaining because I used to play a lot of first person shooters, and we don't really do that just because obviously like certain, don't want to play super violent, bloody games with guns and shit. So there's this Roblox game that's like a first person shooter, but it's it's themed with Nerf. So it's like a Nerf gun first person shooter. I'm like, this is
That seems fun.
this is okay because it's not violent, but also satisfying my desire to go kick some ass with a first person shooter.
Yeah, God of War PC. Kyle's asking. I'm kind of leery about when huge console titles come to PC. A lot of times the controls don't really pan out, and it becomes like cumbersome. Like I had a lot of problems with. I mean, even with a controller. Like Grand Theft Auto was one where I was like, man, this is great on a console, but on PC, like it just doesn't translate.
I'll maybe play it when it's not $60. I think
Right?
$60
Yeah. I'll wait for the 25 sale.
What game is this?
God of War for PC. Yes, team. I was born in 1950. Fucking let me view the page.
Yeah, Valheim is cool too because you can do a 10-person co-op server with all your bros.
That's awesome. I'll have to check that out.
A lot of crafting and stuff like that. It's really good.
I got to bounce, guys.
Yeah, we'll see you, man.
All right, Tim.
Good. Y'all take care.
Bounce
Yeah.
bounce
Yeah.
it. So, Greg, what mic is that? Because the Rode PSA 1 that everybody has is a different. It doesn't have that like blocky front.
Mine's
gear
the
stuff.
PSA 1 Plus.
Oh shit!
That's a new thing, right? Putting your
It just
branding
came-
on the side so it shows up in
So
camera.
lame.
The mic that you and Greg have says
was the
Shure on
biggest
the
complaint.
side, or the SM7B. It says nothing on the side. It's just the shape of the mic. Yeah, so they're advertising for free.
They know it's on camera.
Okay,
Yeah.
the PSA 1 Plus is only like it's like $30 more and out of stock.
Yeah, when I bought it, it was out of stock. It came in within a couple weeks.
Hmm.
I
So
like
this is
it.
that
All the
beer
cable
from-
management's on top.
That's nice having that. Yeah, because my
Mine has
shit's
that
like
too.
mine's zip tied.
Except I don't use it.
This has the cable management trays and shit here. So I just undid them because I.
Okay, wait, don't move your mic, Jason. I want to see what's going on there. Okay, so technically it's on a shock mount, but it's a very, very gaudy shock mount.
It's a weird
Okay.
shock mount.
Yeah. It works though. You sounded great.
He sure did.
This is that beer from Angry Horse. It's called Purple AF, which again I thought was an IPA, but it's a saison with
Whew.
hibiscus.
The cellar maker best friends. I thought it was a collab, but I couldn't find any collab info about it. Like you assume a beer like that is like done with what's that one? Like that is not
There does not exist.
there does not exist. That looks
Yeah.
like a collab with them, but it doesn't say anything on the can.
It is kind of like their style a little bit. Now, that's kind of a tarot card too, isn't it?
Yeah, strong porter 8.2.
Yeah,
It's
if I saw that,
very-
I would
this is
swear
so
that's a
good.
collab with There Does Not Exist.
Yeah, because
it's
cellar makers cans are all colorful and all cartoony, sort of
Right.
like green cheeky.
I don't
Fantastic
know.
beer, though.
Maybe I'll just use this fucking arm. We'll see.
I mean, just order it, and when it comes in stock, you'd be like, "Dang, dude!"
yeah.
Well, like this one's
This one's
not
rad.
terrible. It does seem to be handling this mic better, weirdly. I don't know. Maybe after a while, the springs aren't stupid anymore. I kind of retightened stuff, and it's actually holding place like it should.
This
I mean, for
mic
the
stand-
camera view, it looks like it's out of the way for the camera, but still picks up your voice very well. So
It's a little in the way for my arm. Actually, no. I could probably make this work. I think I'll keep this
I'm
going.
trying to make noise with mine.
It is making a little bit of noise.
yeah, but that's I think just the mic.
Moving.
Yeah. I mean, because
It's a good
it's not on Greg's is not on a shock mount, so that says a lot about the mic itself.
Oh yeah.
For not making
is this
noise.
noisy?
Yeah. It's bloop.
Well, that was when you hit the
Yeah, it hit
table
a
or
glass.
whatever.
It hit a glass. Yeah.
Is this noisy?
Is this noisy?
I'll put my balls on it.
That'd make a noise. It beef.
The noise of us getting fucking banned from Twitch.
Putting your balls. Let,
What do you get banned from Twitch for? It's bullshit. All I did is put my balls on the mic one time.
It made noise.
It made a fucking dope noise.
that's what we got to do on Twitch. Is do everybody have swimming pools in their room, and we'll do the hot tubs channel.
It's working out well for some people.
I do it. Why not?
Sit there in a hot tub and drink beer.
So
All right.
there is a fucking noise on that's been on all day today. There's a
What?
background hiss.
If you turn your volume all the way up in your headphones,
There's like an
It's a
electric
bzzz.
hiss that's been coming through.
and I've muted all my stuff, and it's still there.
Okay, hang on.
I just muted StreamYard and confirmed it is coming through this stream, the electric noise.
Okay, so I'm gonna mute my mic. Do you still hear it?
Nope. It's gone. There
No?
it is. Back. It's back.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah, it's just a general like kind of
Electric feedback.
electric feedback.
It's the grounding or something. It's the earth.
I wonder what that could be.
It's earth.
I don't know. Nothing's changed. I don't hear it though. Like always have like a hiss in my headphones because of my.
Dude, turn your headphones all the way up.
They are.
That's when I hear it. Okay.
I'm turning up the.
At normal volumes, I don't hear it at all.
Huh. But if I go, okay, all right, I'm gonna mute my board and tell me if you hear it. You still hear it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna mute StreamYard in the application. Do you still hear it?
Nope. It's gone.
Okay. It must be a USB thing. Okay. Well, It's that distracting? Or
No, it's just there. It's just kind of the
because what
low
matters
level
at the end of the
noise.
day is the audio that you record locally. So
Yeah, no, we went through it. It's just not normally there. So it feels
All right.
new.
yeah, I don't know.
There we go. Good flight, dude. Bottle Logic. Do you know that they have a whole new brew house?
I did not. No.
They took me back, and it looks like they're as big as Allagash is. Like they have this 30-barrel, big ass fucking brew deck now, and just this huge farm of fermenters.
Is
It's
this
not
part of the
same-
new expansion, like in the backside, or?
Yeah, they doubled their size. As far as fermentation space and stuff like that, they're just ginormous now. I had no idea because their tasting room was still that tiny, dinky little room with the one bathroom.
If
But
I
I was like, holy shit, you guys, crazy.
If I have one complaint about this microphone is I really liked having a hardware button for mute. The capacitive button is, but I kind of have to do this.
Yeah, I could see that being a pain. I have a physical button on my board that I just push, and it's yeah.
I have to do this to even reach that button. I wish the button was in the middle where you could actually reach it.
Yeah,
on the Yeti, it's like right. It's a right on the top physical button that you can very easily.
It's like a little nubbin.
I guess you got to depend on the StreamYard mute than anything else, more than anything else. So
There it is. What do we do next week?
The mic sounds so bad. I hate that mic. I don't even want to look at it. I fucking hate Yeti mics.
Any ideas on next week? You guys have anything worth exploring?
Do we want to hit up Scott? Maybe it's going to be like the 3rd or 4th week of the month.
I thought we were doing once a month. We already did one in January.
Did we? Was that
we
last
did last week? Yeah.
Oh, well, but when were they shipped over to us? Was it December or January? Hold on.
There's 8 people in the stream. Anybody have a theme idea?
There you go.
What
do you
want us
guys
to
want to
drink?
see next week? Not piss, I hope.
Piss.
It's not effective versus COVID.
We should do Noble Brewery X, Phantom Ales, and just do the weird show.
Like all the bad beer. Well, I'm sure Brewery X beer is good. They're just, let's do the
They're fucking chuds, man.
The COVID spreaders. So is Artifex, by the way. I was wondering why you were featuring.
Oh, they are? Oh, I didn't know that.
Not so much. Not so much.
Am I mixing up with somebody who had the fucking gross fucking
that was
jizz in the mouth
Artifex
label?
That was Artifex, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
They made
Sorry.
a few ladies I know were like, "What in the fuck?"
Yeah, they had
They
like the
went in
lady
there.
with a tap handle, like it's like a fucking bukkake video with a beer tap. It's like a 10 by fucking 20 mural on their wall.
Okay. I'm looking again.
Rauch beers made. Let's do all Rauch beers.
So his last shipment was December 21st.
Smooch.
Right, but we basically took the holidays off, so we did that beer in January. I'd like to do it once a month. Like we did one show without Windsor beers. We could probably do a second.
Okay, right. All right. So
But
then we
what
do
I
it
do
again.
like about Windsor is that even if we pay for it, like we're getting all the same beers without any, like we don't have to do anything. All we do is pay
Yeah,
a little bit. That's what I like about it. But either way, I think today's show was great. We had a good side conversation, which I think makes a good podcast.
yeah, and I kind of like when we do the mix shows. Like I don't know, I think we can all kind of add an input on the beers, even though we don't have it. We may have an opinion about the brewery or the style or how grist is a weird word.
Dude, so I just pulled something out of my mouth from the she shot.
What is that? Is that your tooth?
It looks like my tooth. See if we can get it to focus.
Is there a tooth in your beer?
What is that?
No, it's coconut or something. It's like
What?
sponge. Oh, it's like pack. Oh, you know what it is? It's packing styrofoam.
Probably was on like the top of the can or something.
No, it was actually in the box. This
Oh.
Oh, okay.
thankfully I didn't swallow it.
All right. Bottle Logic did not have any contraband
That
in their
was
beer.
not. That was all
It was
me.
in Greg's fucking mug.
Ironically, I bought this from Pop Comics, which is right next door to Bottle Logic. So if you park in the back of Bottle Logic, there's Pop Comics right on the other side of the fence.
Are you watching the Book of Boba Fett, Greg?
No,
Oh, okay.
I probably should, but
Boba Fett is a character that is just a cool helmet. And then they made a show about the cool helmet. It was called The Mandalorian. And now they're double dipping and making a Boba Fett show. Boba Fett wasn't a character. It was a cool helmet. And they already made a cool helmet show.
Okay, all right.
It's just another Boba Fett show. It's like we already had one Boba Fett show. And this one doesn't even
I'm
have
going to
a
say
baby
this
Chewbacca.
about the Book of Boba Fett. You're getting backstory on different characters and people in the Star Wars universe through Boba Fett and that show, and it's worth watching, and it's a good show. It's a very entertaining show. It's fun, and I think it's going to be probably 6 or 7 episodes, maybe 8. It's a good show to watch like as a movie, like straight through, because it's adding a piece of lore to the Star Wars universe while pulling from stuff we've already seen, stuff from comics, stuff that is no longer canon in the universe, I guess. It's a good show though. Don't dismiss it so easily.
I'm just tired of Star Wars. I'm honestly pretty burnt out on Marvel too. I was surprised Spider-Man got me back. The new Spider-Man's great. And I'm just burnt out on all the Marvel Star Wars shit. I'm like, do we really need one every month for the rest of our
Nope.
lives? Like, it's just, I like the properties, but it's like that Homer Simpson thing. It's like, you like donuts? Have all the donuts in the world. And they're just pumping them down your throat. It's just like, yeah.
What would you
over it.
prefer? Like
Anything else?
they're milking it, dude.
Just like there's more to the world than Marvel and Star Wars. You know, like there's other stuff. Like I like a Marvel and Star Wars movie a couple times a year, but I don't want 24/7 Marvel and Star Wars. And that's like the world right now where everything that comes out is Marvel and Star Wars. And I'm a little over it. I don't know. I'm just like, yeah, just anything else.
well, I'm going to have fun and not listen to you.
I'm like, I don't hate on people that enjoy it. Like, cool. If you're super hyped that there's more fucking Boba Fett shows, great. They'll make 48 more Boba Fett shows.
No, there's going to be one. It's going to be one season, and that's it. Like it's giving you a little bit of
the next one will be
backstory.
about Jeff Fett, and then like fucking Gregory Fett, and like you know
Gregory
Fett's Vet, the fucking mini series.
Oh,
Boba Fett, the bounty hunter.
I am rewatching Suicide Squad right now. The Suicide Squad, the good one, not the piece of shit David Ayers one. With the family because I want to watch the Peacemaker show. That's pretty fun.
The Suicide Squad and the fucking whatever emancipation of one
Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey. Yeah. There you go. That's a good movie. I love that movie.
Have you seen the Harley Quinn animated show?
I have not, although I have bookmarked it. I plan on watching it.
It's really good, and I think you would like it. Like, knowing what I know about you, I think you would like it. It's very lighthearted. It's violent. It's not like a kid show.
Good, good.
I avoided it because Kaylee Cuoco is in it, and I hate Big Bang Theory. But she's actually really good as the voice of Harley. It's really funny.
Yeah,
like,
when I got my DC comic whatever DC Universe subscription, I was like, okay, what DC comics do I read? And like Superman is my favorite DC comic character, but I don't like how many Superman comics can you read? So I got into like the comics with his kid and like the post-apocalyptic thing when like they were all killing that was very interesting. And Harley Quinn was the one character where it's like, okay, this character I like a lot, especially from the Birds of Prey movie, and I could get into like what she's doing right now.
No, you would love the whole storyline in the Harley Quinn show. There's 2 seasons of it right now. It's on HBO Max. It's really funny. It's like one of the funniest shows on. It's just like Clayface is great in it. Bane is great in it. Like
nice.
It's fucking so funny. They're like, yeah, Bane got the idea to blow up Gotham Stadium when he was in a bar, and he's at bar trivia, and it's just like, where do the Gotham Knights play? And he's like, oh, here, and like the answer is Gotham Stadium, and Bane's just like, I'm gonna blow up Gotham Stadium. Like he's got his arms crossed, like mad that he got the question wrong. He's like, "I'll blow up Gotham Stadium."
Yeah, the thing with me right now is like, there's like video games, there's real world like work shit, there's home improvement stuff, and there's TV shows. And so with TV shows, we're back to just watching Parks and Rec because like we got Peacock, and like that's where you can watch Parks and Rec and The Office and everything else. I know.
All right.
I avoided it.
I know who bought Peacock. It's John.
No, I avoided it as long as we could. I debated just buying Parks and Rec on through the iTunes store, but whatever. So we're like, basically my point is, I'm at a point where like video games, I was heavily into like the new Animal Crossing DLC. I tried to Halo Infinite, like I'm at a point, I'm at like one of the big bosses where I haven't beat that dude yet, but I'm like, I'm so close to beating it. I can. And then like home improvement stuff got in the way. And now we're like doing the garage gym thing. Like, so just real life took over, and no video games, no TV shows, no nothing. Like the last movie we saw was No Way Home. So,
I've been doing a Paul Thomas Anderson retrospective.
Okay.
It's been very interesting.
Movies like what?
Yeah. I've been watching all his movies from beginning, like start to.
What are his movies? That's my question.
Paul Thomas Anderson. So, Boogie Nights, Magnolia, movie. There Will Be Blood. He gets a little bit more esoteric after that. There Will Be Blood was like, I think it won an Oscar.
Oh my god, you guys!
Is that the Drink My Milkshake movie?
Yes.
Okay.
So I decided to crank up a GeoGuessr real quick.
Uh-oh.
And by the way, I wasn't going to put this on, but okay.
Let me guess.
Sweetwater. And look at this.
Oh
this
no!
Food truck name. What?
Oh no!
What is happening?
That's a thing, people.
Mexican soul food. Okay. I mean,
yeah, Blaxican. It's a thing people say. Like people who are half black, half Mexican. Blaxican. Yeah, I've heard it a lot.
Okay.
All right.
Never mind.
Not
It
just in
sounds
Ge-
it sounds
not just in
good.
Georgia, like in
Crisis averted.
in California and other less racist states.
Dude, Sweetwater's huge. Jesus
Sorry,
Christ.
Georgians.
You get your hair transplanted there and like dude, this shit's popping off there, man. I'd say they're in Miami, right?
A lot of university. Well, I mean, it's Sweetwater. They're in fucking
Georgia? No,
Georgia. Yeah,
Yeah.
Is it?
I think so.
I do see two people with University of Miami shirts, but they're definitely in Georgia.
I mean, you're close enough, right? To Florida. I mean,
Man, that's a logo.
That's a logo from like 1991.
right?
And they're just sticking with it.
Well, I'm drinking some beer here.
They
on the-
paid an artist a lot of money to make
at
that.
that.
There I am.
Look at that. In Georgia, you can have a big ass building like that, all made out of brick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sierra Nevada.
right.
You
Just
can't do
brick.
that shit in the seismically active
It's
area.
fucking beautiful.
Yeah, look at their firm farm is pretty huge.
That looks like the Lagunitas Azusa would have been if they ever fucking made it.
Oh
Yeah,
that's
they're like
so
the
sad.
Firestone Walker of the.
That's
You know,
wild to
the
think how much money they
Southeast.
put into that brewery that they never finished. They're just like, never mind. Our bad.
Has anyone taken that place over yet?
I think Lagunitas is still there.
Huh. Okay.
Love me some good guessing.
Where did you guess? Is it in Atlanta?
Atlanta, yeah, that was 2 miles.
Yeah.
Oh, you got 5,000 points. That's. Yeah.
Oh, this is in Jamaica. Jamaica Plains. I've been here.
Have you?
Yep. Boston.
Again, brick.
Oh,
East
the
Coast
one, you
shit.
know who John Hole is? He's a
John
beer-
Holzer, he's right here.
John Hall, you
John
mean?
Hall. Yeah, he's a beer author.
He's
And,
not me. Definitely, he's way better than me when it comes to beer.
He's kind of a nerdy guy. He wears a fucking a tie.
Yeah,
like
he's a
the,
suit and tie. He's like the Garrett
Not
Oliver
a tie.
of
yeah.
beer media.
He tries, but he's a
Yeah.
little on the chubby side. Anyways,
What the fuck?
one, so am I, but it's all good.
So am
but-
I.
Funny story. So we're in there, and John, what's his name from Samuel Adams? What's his name? The head guy.
Jim Cook.
Jim
Jim
Cook.
Cook. Jim Cook. Okay, so Jim Cook is showing us around where they make Utopia and shit. And John Hall farts on one of the barrels, just rips one. And he goes, Hey Jim, come over here. This barrel smells a little funny. And Jim Cook walks over and he's whiffing John Hall's fart. He's going, yeah, this does smell a little funky over here. And I'm just fucking dying inside. One of the funniest stories ever. And it
That's
happened
funny.
here. So good.
Yeah, remember the whole era where Jim Cook was like a big part of their like media campaign? He was in like every commercial.
Oh, yeah.
And It was, yeah.
Back when
Not in like a
authenticity
douchey-
mattered in craft beer.
Well,
Where's
not in
Jamaica
like
Plains?
a douchey Greg Cook kind of way, but like a cool, like, I don't know. It worked. I don't know.
I have no idea where Jamaica Plains is, but just gonna slap it down. I want to say it's like up here somewhere. 5 miles. Oh, okay. It was south. Jamaica Plains Skate Park right there. What do we got here? NOLA. Okay, New Orleans.
I mean,
Okay. Here we go.
yeah, the brewery ones are a little easy.
Except where the hell's oh, there we go. And boop.
Where is Scott in the Discord located? Because he picked up Hop Splash, which is Sierra Nevada's hop water, I guess. And Steve-O. Like in person.
Well, if we got Steve in person, then he's got to be
I would.
SoCal.
Yeah. But he also got, I don't know.
Dang, I got so close on all those. I got within 5 miles of every guess.
Killing it, Greg.
Not too shabby.
All right, gang. I got to go to the bathroom, so I'm going to go.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'll see you guys
All right.
Cheers, bro.
later.
Later, guys.
Later.